Okay, so I'd like to explain about Reiki. So especially if you want to learn Reiki, what we call Usui Reiki. I have seen some people, they even didn't know this is called Usui Reiki, but they all knew this is called Reiki. Yeah, Usui is a Japanese surname. Actually, there's a man, Japanese man who established Reiki therapy in Japan because his surname was Usui. So that's why we call Usui Reiki. And then I found myself, because first time I learned Reiki, most amazing part of Usui Reiki, I believe that because there's an attunement process, so that make everybody can learn, everybody can practice, and everybody can have a Reiki energy flow from the palm without having any special talent. Yeah, so sometimes people misunderstand about Usui Reiki, like especially when they visited my studio first time, they want to experience Reiki. They thought that sometime this is not for me because I don't have this special talent. So maybe you can just give me Reiki and then I want to receive healing. But Usui Reiki, it is something different because this attunement process, which invented by Usui Mikao Sensei first time, so then makes everybody can learn, everybody can practice. So that's the most different part from any other major energy work I want to tell you. And then another thing that maybe many people confusing or many people just didn't know about. So, oh, this is Usui Reiki, but some contents, it seems something different. Yeah, I have seen some people, they also learned Usui Reiki long time ago. And then what I learn here, what I teach here, I practice here, the content is not exactly the same. What we call about the Western Reiki, and also we have a Japanese Reiki. Why we call these two different names? For especially for us Japanese, because of this is our history. Yeah, the first time Usui Mikao started the Usui Reiki in Japan. So this is almost about 100 years ago. And then is Japanese people at the time is I believe that Reiki is quite popular. Many people are studying learning Reiki, but until the 1945, so after the World War II, this Reiki is naturally disappearing. I want to say, is it really naturally disappearing? But it's definitely some relation here with the water second, because what I heard about not just Usui Reiki, but some other spiritual practice, some are like other Japanese martial arts, they also included some spiritual practice. They all banned from our Japanese community after the water second. So Usui Reiki also no exception. They also kind of this destiny, like this gradually disappearing from our Japanese society, unfortunately. And then, so we are kind of a decades, we totally don't know, or we can say what we forgot about Reiki after World War II. This is reason why I didn't know Reiki for a long time, even when I was in Japan, nobody talking about Reiki. Here I came Hong Kong, then the first time I find that this Reiki is actually Japanese origin healing technique. So, which was quite surprising for me. But then we call this a Western style Reiki. After the World War II, one Japanese Reiki practitioner who was living in Hawaii, her name is Takata Hawaii, by the way, so she's very famous person. She was a Japanese Reiki practitioner and teacher, and she is in Hawaii teaching students. So what we call this after the World War II, because majority foreigners overseas continue practicing Reiki, we call this Western style Reiki. Yeah. What's the difference? So many people just question mark about, so is there any difference? Many people talking about maybe techniques are different. For example, the traditional Reiki, yes, we have this technique, while Western technique are different technique as well. But I really want to emphasize, actually, it is not really focusing on the healing technique only. Japanese Reiki really want to tell more about how to raise our quality of life, because this is Usui Mikao Sensei's the the wish. Yeah, he at the first time he also wanted to tell, he want to teach people to do how to do the healing technique using your hands, but at the same time he also wanted to tell about the meaning of life, and then through this Reiki practice or how to do spiritual practice. So this content is missing in Western style Usui Reiki. What is a spiritual practice with Reiki practice? We can understand that this Reiki practice is helping us release our ego attachment. Yeah, so maybe many people know about what's an ego or what is attachment. Yeah, many people know the meaning already. For example, this is like a strong desire of our thoughts. So traditional Reiki teach how to release ego attachment and let us make a course correction in the life. I want to say that, for example, if you're feeling trouble in your life, but by releasing the ego and attachment, so eventually transforming your life is possible by practicing Reiki. I want to talk more about what is ego. Like maybe we can just call this selfish person, and then this is something that everybody don't want to be a selfish person, but sometimes we really know what is selfish. Yeah. It is very hard to release ego and actually affecting your emotion. Maybe you are slightly being more selfish, for example, and then this is really affecting our relationship, yeah, which is quite important in our life. So I can say if your ego is too strong, you will lose your life. So if you are not doing well with your relationship, it means like you losing your luck, and then that means that you cannot really succeed in life. So Japanese original Reiki practice us in order to aware about our ego attachment. Yeah, how to release this ego and attachment. So we can do it by Reiki practice. For example, Japanese Reiki, we have a breathing technique. This breathing technique helping you clear your aura and cleanse your negative emotions, so which is quite effective for becoming your clear you. So breathing technique is essential practice of our Japanese Reiki. And we also have self-healing and healing on others, and we also chanting Gokai. So yeah, it's very helpful for releasing the ego. So for example, what did I experience about awareness about my ego through Reiki on others? So this is my experience in the past. For example, I also was thinking that maybe I'm not confident enough. I cannot really do good enough the Reiki on others. So I'm kind of a struggle about these ideas that maybe I'm not that good enough. So this is also my ego that I want to be confident, but I cannot. Yeah, so we can be aware about this kind of ego in us. And sometimes I also aware about my attachment about I want to be praised. Yeah, because if I did a lot of the help for others, so maybe probably the others praise me. So because I want to get more, the rewards. So then maybe I'm trying more and more. So this is also one of my attachment that I aware before in the past. And then I also have another attachment that I want to heal you, I want to help you. So this is quite famous that when you learn Reiki, your teacher told you like you be just a pure energy passage. You are not going to say or think that I going to help you, I fix you. We don't do this. Yeah. But at the same time, actually, we also having this kind of a strong desire about I want to heal you, I want to help you. I'm not talking about you have to eliminate all those ego. In fact, we always have this ego. But what I really want to emphasize here is to aware about your ego. So always you can look around yourself that where is your ego inside. We can do that with our Reiki practice. And then please be the one that you can spread your happiness to others. Yeah. by releasing the ego and attachment. So you really become lighter and you are the person you can be always, happy most of the time. Even you have a negative emotion sometime, but it's very easy to shift to yourself. So you are more focused on what you want to be. This is about life transformation, I believe. And then if you continuously doing that, you continuously are hard working on your Reiki practice, and then you really become the person like you are the one to spread your happiness like a ripple effect, and then other people also will be happier with you like that. So I can say be Reiki. I want you to enjoy the life and convince your life and having more excitement about the life. It's a regret if you didn't know Japanese traditional Reiki. And then I believe that the Reiki is really beyond borders, no boundaries. So regardless of ages, nationalities, genders, all you can come, learn, and practice Reiki. So I hope to see you soon in the future. Have a good Reiki day. Bye.